work on the field and in the weight room, but we need to bring him off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my attention. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get to the business. Touchdown and take you a visit.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
The line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
With the sportsman.
Apodaca ripped to left field.
They're just as driven as the
That
hardworking
will
pros they
bounce
serve.
in.
There was a
So the
0.0%
extra
chance
bases
Donovan
as
Mitchell was going to stay in
Norman
Cleveland,
takes
according
that
to
one
any
at the
NBA
warning
pundit.
track.
They were off by
Flipped
100%.
up,
Mitchell
dude.
signed a 3-year max extension on Tuesday, remaining with Cavaliers.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros
AM Albuquerque is the sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
7 a.m. in the morning, she's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just lay down.
Now. Five years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you wake up on the 3rd of July. It's a little bit of a stunner breaking news. He says facetiously, a Woj bomb dropped this morning. The biggest name on the free agent market in the NBA has signed a deal, or shall we say re-signed a deal. Good morning to you, and Merry Wednesday. Should be a great day. I know many of you are hitting the road. JJ, we're getting some 7 Brew coffee delivered to us today. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living on the 3rd of July?
what it do?
All right. You get any sleep back there? Is it fireworks going off around the house?
Not to the point where I can't sleep.
Really? Yeah, they were nuts last night. Friday's going to be a rough morning. I get a weird feeling. All right, stunner, huh? LeBron James signed a deal today, or at least he's agreed to a deal. Adrian Wojnarowski reports this morning 2 years, $104 million maximum contract to return to the Lakers. It's a player option for the second season, a no trade clause. The surprise factor would register at, I believe, 0 on this. I think there was no chance he was going anywhere else, especially when they drafted Bronny. And the reason he opted out of his deal earlier this week, or I guess last Saturday, was because he was going to sign a max deal. I think the only intrigue was the number of years on it, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty much the same deal he had.
So
because he had a player option for $51 million. So this is 1 + 1 for $52 million
right
per year,
and a no trade.
LeBron wasn't going anywhere anyway,
right.
Whether there's no trade clause or not. It gives them, if there's a guy next year, he could play I'll take a discount in this following year game because he could opt out and do it again, or just keep signing 1 + 1 deals for however long the Lakers want to do this.
Now, he was eligible for 3 years at 162. So he took the 2 for 104. He'll be 40 at the end of the year. And, how long does he has got? We'll see. But I think the intrigue on this was literally, there was 0. And I don't know. There's a part of me that is a little surprised he didn't take the 3 for 160, whatever it was, and go as much as he can get and get the max. But I guess if he wants to come back, he will. This gives him the freedom. It gives him, I mean, he can do whatever. He's going to do whatever he wants, can do whatever he wants, has earned the right in large respect to do whatever he wants, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot that's being reported on this. Some of it was actually trying to keep the Lakers out of the second apron. So not taking that max, still doing a little bit. So the Lakers can have some flexibility, because right now for Klay Thompson, there wasn't that player that LeBron James is going to take a step back and say, yeah, I'll take a pay cut so you can come and join us.
It was Klay Thompson, and he went somewhere else. Second apron, that might be a fantasy football name for the year.
It's a new term.
Yeah.
Because teams are dealing with it differently, and it's pretty much the easiest way to explain it is it's a different luxury tax level for NBA teams.
Yeah, it's at $184 million, I believe is the number, annually. So that's it. It came the day after the Lakers introduced their rookie, their first round or their second round pick, Bronny James. Have they introduced Dalton Knecht yet?
They will, because they know he just signed his contract. Yes.
All right. Was he part of this, or was this just the Bronny show? Because normally you introduce your first round pick first, don't you? To the media.
He has to be under contract.
Okay. And he hasn't signed yet, or he did?
He signed yesterday.
Okay. All right. So we'll get that soon. Bronny James was out there. He thanked JJ Redick, and he thanked Rob Pelinka for everything they've given to him, drafting him. And according to what JJ Redick said, quote, Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this. Bronny has earned this through hard work. That was the message from the Lakers. His parents were there off to the side, as they, parents often are, although his parents is his teammate now. But this is a big deal for the Lakers. Quote Bronny now, for sure amplified amount of pressure. I've already seen it on social media and stuff and the internet and stuff, and talking about that I might not deserve the opportunity, but I've been dealing with stuff like that my whole life. So it's nothing different, but it's more amplified for sure, but I'll get through it, end quote. 19-year-old kid said, I feel like I'm perfecting my game more. I feel like I've been given the opportunity to showcase what I can really do, because I wasn't given that much of an opportunity at SC. I'm excited for what is to come. You know how I feel about the old man, but I'm rooting for the kid. Is that weird?
No, I don't think anyone has a problem with Bronny James. It's a young man that it's so easy for everyone else to say, tell Rich Paul and your dad to bleep off and go do your own thing.
Yep.
But even with the challenges, like, you just got a roster spot in the Los Angeles Lakers. You can try to say all the right things, but that's the ultimate networking and connections. It's no different. Now, the impact is then some, a head coach having his son on his coaching staff. Like, you see that all the time. Did you
say the head coach having his son on the coaching staff? Yeah. Implying that LeBron is the head coach?
No, in the NBA or in college basketball. Or now Bronny is kind of in that weird mix where it wasn't just, here's like someone that's on the roster as a walk-on, and with the name, it's used a draft pick on Bronny James, and they can try to play spin doctors all they want. We know why Bronny James is on the Lakers.
There's part of me that just wishes, and well, that's not even part of me. Did you hear Klay Thompson talk about? I'm sorry, Michael Thompson, Klay Thompson's dad. Did you hear him on a podcast yesterday talk about how he actively tried to pull strings and actively tried to get Klay to the Lakers? Did you hear him talk about that at all? Michael,
I saw the stories.
Michael, and for those of you who didn't, Michael Thompson was a really good basketball player. He was a number one overall pick. I think a number one overall pick. I know he was a first round pick, and he made hay with the Lakers. He won a couple championships with the Lakers in his day. He is the analyst on the Lakers play-by-play, the radio play-by-play broadcast with John Ireland, and he does a lot of talk radio on ESPN 710 in LA, and he's a Laker. And his kid is one of the best shooters we've ever seen in the game, and he's 34, and his kid is Klay Thompson. And Michael said yesterday flat out, yeah, I'm disappointed. Like, I'll live with it, but I wanted Clay to end his career with the Lakers. He grew up idolizing Kobe, as did most kids of his generation who grew up in Los Angeles. And we've talked about it in the past, that if he was to play somewhere outside of Golden State, where would it want to be? And we wanted, I wanted it to be LA, and we talked about it. And he said it was close. It came down to Dallas and Los Angeles. And Michael said, I'm disappointed, and I did everything I can, and I tried to pull strings. And I appreciate the dad coming out and saying, yeah, I'm on the inside a little bit, and I did. I tried to pull some strings. I told you this last week. And I don't remember if it was Friday when you weren't here or when you were here, but I had lunch with someone last week who said, you know what? There's nothing wrong with pulling some strings. If you've worked to get yourself in a situation where you've got connections, you can pull some strings to open a door for your kid. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, I mean, it's something else to bail your kid out of trouble, but in the way it was phrased to me, it was really interesting. It was, you worked your ass off to establish these relationships, and if it was to someone's detriment, it was probably your kid, right? You probably weren't there while you were working, and so if you could do something to benefit your kids, then there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing unethical. There's nothing wrong with that. And it kind of clicked with me, and it clicked with me on the Bronny thing. All right, you know what? LeBron opened a door for his kid. I just wish they would say, everybody. It's like Joe Biden had a bad day. It's never happened before. LeBron James didn't help get his kid drafted. Just tell us what we're seeing. We know what we're seeing.
I'm right there with you on that. That's why I'm not as upset as a lot of sports fans, even Laker fans, is when they know that Bronny's going to be on the end of the bench, and that's why they're talking about, hey, development, multi-year deal, give him the opportunity to be on the team and be in the NBA. But it was 55. And so that's where I'm a little less like, oh my gosh, that's right. They didn't force him in the first round. They didn't take him at 17. So we all know what they did. But I also have a little bit of that feeling. Yeah, LeBron James pulled strings. And the one thing with Bronny, we talked about, his size, does he fit? Is he actually a good prospect? Whatever it may be. Like, at least it's not something in the point of you look at that dude and it's like, man, this guy's not even a JV player.
Look, you hit something that's right on. It was pick 55 of the NBA draft. The best 55th pick in the NBA draft ever is probably Patty Mills. You're going to go Patty Mills. Last year's pick was Isaiah Wong of the Pacers. How'd that work? The year before was Guy Santos. The year before was Aaron Wiggins of the Thunder. The year before that was Jay Scrubb of the Nets. The year before that, Kyle Guy of the Knicks. The year before that, Arnoldas Kulboka for the Hornets. Remember him? No. Nigel Williams-Goss in 2017 went to the Jazz. Marcus Page to the Nets in 16. Cody Lalonde to the Spurs in 15. Samaj Christian to the Heat in 14. Joffrey Lavergne to the Grizzlies. You get my point? What have 55s ever become? And so they took a shot, and there you go. I'm looking down the list. The best career I see here, and I'm going to tell you there's probably 3 careers I even remember, is Patty Mills. So to your point, right, but just stop trying to tell us it had nothing to do with LeBron. It had nothing to do with LeBron. This is who we want. Stop. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, LeBron had something to do with it, and it's his son. We think Bronny's really good. We think there's a lot of upside. He didn't get to show it at SC because of playing time, the heart condition, whatever. But we think there's a lot of upside. And yeah, him being LeBron's son, yeah, there was that factor into it. Boom, fine, boom, move on. Right? And does anybody have a problem with it? No more than you do now. No more than you do now, and at least they're not telling you you're stupid.
Yeah, they're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes, and it's like we see everything.
We see everything.
We knew this was happening before it happen.
I mean, you read it with Braille. You could see it 15 miles away. Every predictor had it. You show me what predictor everybody unanimously predicts the 55th overall pick. So stop telling what those were stupid. That's all. And that's why I really appreciated what Michael Thompson had to say. Let me give you phone numbers today. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. Emails this morning, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. You can watch the show. Adrian's got you going up on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. And while you're there, give us a like, please. You can watch it on Comcast or Xfinity Channel 26 and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. JJ, when we come back, I want to continue a little bit of the LeBron conversation because I was listening to a lot of it yesterday. And a lot of it was coming from, the ex-NBA guys and asking, is the free agency market and the lack of guys going to the Lakers, and especially Clay, is it an indictment on LeBron James? I want to do that conversation next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Signed with the Lakers, 2 years, $104 million, player option after the first year, and a no trade clause. They introduced his teammate, Bronny James, yesterday. They changed the back of his shirt now. It says James Sr. and James Jr., I think, or they both say James on the back. Probably James Sr., James Jr., right? I mean, I think it's cool as hell. If you had a chance to play professional basketball with your kid on the team, I got, like, use the power if you got it. Just, who are we kidding? That's all I'm saying. So, JJ, I heard a lot of talk yesterday, and I almost surprised how much I heard, and from whom I heard it. A lot of former NBA guys that went through free agency, and more so the Klay Thompson deal, but some of the Paul George situation. The Lakers were not in a situation where they could just go sign, just cap space wise, where they could just go sign whoever they wanted. Now, LeBron James evidently said that he would take some sort of a discount depending on who the free agent was, Klay Thompson being one of them, if they could sign him. But there's a lot of talk that this is an indictment, that guys just didn't want to go get caught in the LeBron circus. That if you go there and you don't win, you're the scapegoat. You're Chris Bosh until they won a championship. You are Kevin Love until they won a championship. It was always their fault. I don't know. Do you buy into this? Do you think it, or just other situations better? Paul George found a better situation with more money in Philadelphia. Klay Thompson, Dallas, he deemed to be a better situation to go play with Luka and Kyrie.
There is an element to that, but I also don't think NBA players are going to shy away from drama. Like, if they believe it's a position where they can go win. Because throughout LeBron's career, yeah, you mentioned Chris Bosh and Kevin Love. What did they ultimately do?
They won championships ultimately, yeah.
Yes. And I think it's more of a realization that while there's a certain standard that it's LeBron James and it's the second greatest player ever, that has changed just based on who he is right now and the talent in the rest of the Western Conference.
So you think it's more a roster thing than a LeBron circus thing?
I think the LeBron circus thing is real,
yeah.
But I also think it's you taking a step back, and if you're Klay Thompson, and yeah, there's a circus aspect to it, which you just were a part of for a lot of
13 years.
A big in a different way this past year,
no doubt.
In Golden State, going through that, coming off the bench, are you going to be the guy, this or that? There's the fact you just watched Dallas go to the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. You've watched what the Lakers have been the last 2 years, and that's pretty much with as good as LeBron is going to be.
You got to figure as he turns 40, he's probably not getting better, is what you're saying, and I agree.
Like he's just going to be kind of hitting this ceiling. And then you take a step back and then you start weighing the rest of the factors. And taxes are a big thing for people that are making that much money.
Look, and evidently with Klay Thompson, the no sales tax thing in Texas as opposed to high not sales tax, income tax, state income tax. It's a big deal in California, and it isn't a deal in Texas. There's something to that. And so I heard the conversation, well, would this have ever happened with Mike or Kobe? It's not like guys were flocking to go play with Kobe at the end of his career either. If you recall, Kobe's teams at the end of his career were not very good.
That is true. And it's easier said than done. Because the guys still want to get paid.
Yes.
And so you can't just... There's also a sense of, for those other players, are they going to all take pay cuts just to join a Lakers roster? No, there's a lot of factors that are involved.
And I think it depends on the individual. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what's more important to Klay Thompson and or Paul George or anybody else. I'm going to guess winning, and maybe this isn't fair because maybe once you've won one, you get the taste and you want it more. Klay Thompson's won 4 rings. Paul George has not won one. I got to believe as Paul George enters his mid-30s, finding a situation that puts him in the best scenario to win a ring, finally, is really important. Now, he got $212 million to go ahead and do it. Right? And so I don't know what's more important. Is it getting paid or whatever, man? I had a great career, and I made stacks and stacks of cash, and I didn't win. Whatever. Bleep you. Or is it winning another one? I'm not going to pretend to get into these guys' heads. But I'm going to guess situations matter. And I don't know that I hear a ton of people go, wow, I want to go play with LeBron James. And maybe that, I'm just trying to compare it to the greats, right? At the end of Mike's career, he was in Washington, kind of languishing. At the end of Kobe's career, those teams weren't good, but they were so capped out, they didn't have the money, they couldn't go attract free agents. Was it, I honestly don't recall, was it guys not wanting to go play there, or is just not the right situation?
I do think that this conversation is a little overblown, because where are stars flocking to with any player? You can't do that.
They're not anymore. Yeah. Well, they did, but they did.
They didn't.
You don't think?
It was always role players.
Okay.
Like when you look at when they were adding to the edges of these teams, or guys wanting to go play with LeBron.
Yeah, I guess LeBron went to play with Dwayne Wade and brought Bosh with him. Anthony Davis, but that was a trade. But Anthony Davis made it pretty clear that he wanted to be there, so he might be the only one. I think that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Are guys flocking to go play with Steph? And again,
like it's do they want to? Sure, it's just not realistic. I think we have this false narrative that stars don't want to go play LeBron. If stars could do that, there'd be like literally 3 super teams.
Well, and that's why there's salary caps.
Yeah,
I mean literally, and that's why there's second aprons. Honestly, that might be my team. Second apron. Because that's why there's salary caps.
Because I think you could then take a step back and make a fair argument of what great player didn't grind someone at some point in time. Like, not everyone loved being Kobe Bryant's teammate.
100% right.
In the moment.
100% right.
But that was different because Kobe, right, it was all about winning, and people don't feel that's where LeBron is.
Why was Kobe perceived so differently when he played? Was there less of an arrogance about me? Was there less of a...
Honestly, Kobe was the Jordan attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and that's still,
he demanded
trades. What people want from athletes is like winning above all else, because they want to feel that the people they root for, it hurts them as much as it hurts fans when the team.
But don't you think LeBron would tell you that's who I am?
But you can't. It might be who he is as a competitor, but with what he's done, people don't see him as that.
Yeah. and just the way he comes off in interviews, just his personality wasn't Mike or Kobe. As much as he tried, and it felt like he tried to force it and change it, it wasn't him. Kobe was naturally that way. Mike was naturally who he was. They both felt really comfortable in their own skin, and I'm not sure I ever think that LeBron felt comfortable and appeared comfortable being who he is.
I think once he was, people were just taking shots at him, as being this aloof guy and not a killer.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, 505-246-0610. The conversation just really caught me, and I found it a number of ways yesterday. So if you want to get in on that, I mean, is it, people just don't want to play with LeBron? Or is it Jay just saying you're right? I mean, it's not like stars just flock to stars. It doesn't necessarily happen that way. When we come back, there's a shakeup in the Mountain West Conference football. A former Lobo assistant who is a head coach in this league is out a week before media day, and a former Aggie assistant is the new head coach, and they got a mess going on up in Logan, Utah. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This report brought.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420.
Next week, camps open up at the end of the month. It's unbelievable personal stripe. He's a former Lobo assistant, was here with the Lobos in 99 through 2001. He cut his coaching teeth in 92 and 93 at Eastern New Mexico, where he started coaching. And he was the head coach at Arkansas State, and he's at Utah State. They won the conference championship a few years ago, lost the famous Idaho Potato Bowl last year. And JJ, I think your interactions with Blake, I mean, this is a guy, one of those look you in the eye, not cliche, pretty stand-up guy. And everybody I know who knows Blake is a big Blake Anderson.
Yep.
And then this comes out. And again, Blake's fighting this, but Utah State's informed Blake Anderson of their intent to fire him. There was an external investigation of alleged noncompliance of Title IX policies that require what they called full and timely reporting of disclosures of sexual misconduct, including domestic violence, end quote. There's a lot in that sentence, and your mind starts going a lot of different places. So Utah State put out a statement, and they said that the investigation stemmed from actions taken in spring of 2023. So that's a year ago now. It violated both his employment agreement and university policy. It's alleged that he violated rules that prohibit employees from investigating disclosures of sexual misconduct themselves. He's got 14 days to respond, and he's got a lawyer, and his lawyer said, "Look, man, Blake did everything right. It was he reported it to his immediate supervisors, and this is going to be interesting to see where it goes." Tom Mars is his attorney, and this is his attorney's statement. Like any university, Utah State could fire Blake Anderson for any reason as long as they paid his buyout. However, based on the facts alleged and the language in Blake's employment agreement, USU is going to be fighting an uphill battle if they try to fire him for cause just to avoid paying Blake what he owed. Stiffing a head coach by blaming him for what his supervisor allegedly failed to do is a novel approach that hasn't been tried before, but that theory will never hold up in court. They also fired Jerry Bovee, the director of player development, and Austin Albrecht. Deputy athletic director Jerry Bovee and Austin Albrecht, the player development director. Nate Dreiling, who was New Mexico State's defensive coordinator last year, is now their interim head coach. JJ, I don't even know where to start. I don't know if you want to go to the football aspect, the fans, to the allegations, to what the hell's going on up there. All I know is, man, if you're a fan of Utah State football, you just got you got kicked in the junk yesterday, and what the hell's going on around?
It's super frustrating to see a story like this again with coaches of sports. Like, get out of the way. If something is reported, even if you want to have your players back, you still have to go through the right avenues.
Right.
And then you can help your player, you can defend your player. But you can't be out there trying to steer things a certain way or push things under, not let it get out there, because this is what happens. The cover up, what do they say?
It's
Can
always
be worse than the crime.
Yeah. And this is where
I don't even know why you'd, with everything we've seen,
right?
Even when those are your dudes, those are your guys, and he could come into your office and be like, "This is not true, coach, this or that," and you're like, okay, I got you, but we have to do this for all of us.
And according to his attorney, he followed protocol. He went to the next level, whether it was the deputy athletic director, which if that's the administrator who oversees football, you go to your deputy athletic director. If he went to Jerry Bovee and said, here's what I got, or went to his higher ups, here's the allegations, I'm following protocol, here's what it is. I don't know what their protocol is.
I understand that. But then I'm like, well, how does it get to this?
I don't know.
Like, how does it then fall back on, like, Anderson?
Yeah, because he's the head of the program. Yeah, and now you've got a new athletic director in. Now, she was not the athletic director when this is all alleged to have happened. And so then you do an internal investigation, and you've got this just tangled mess that you've got. Look, I always am really careful in these situations, and maybe even more so now because I do know Blake, and I've always liked him. To your point, if he is guilty of this, he has to be fired, right? If he did cover something up or didn't follow protocol, or tried to,
but it's
yes.
How do they get? Are they just trying to force him out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if there is,
look, there's been some heat on him.
Yes, but if there is hey, I've reported it to this person, was following whatever, then what? How did Utah State get to this point?
Yeah. A little more on Blake's background if you don't know, and this will maybe ring a bell, or you're like, didn't he? Yes, his son Kaysen he lost his son Kaysen to suicide back in February of 2002, and his wife, his late wife Wendy, they were married for 27 years. She passed away shortly before that. She battled cancer. He's remarried. In fact, I saw him and Brittany, his wife, at in Scottsdale at the league meetings, and they were expecting another child. And so the personal tragedy in his life that he's gone through, and again, that has nothing to do with this. Like literally has nothing to just a background on this. Maurice says the Utah State thing's a nothing burger, Jeff. Remember Davey got suspended because when his player got in trouble, he didn't notify the correct overpaid central office deep state administrator who got their panties in a bunch and cried choking Abdullah's shoulder. It sounds like a similar situation with Gary Anderson. Maybe instead of the coach, we need to get rid of some of these administrators. Look, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know what happened.
Does Baylor ring a bell to any of y'all?
See,
like it's a huge
and
problem if you're not reporting things.
Right. And that, look, if something happened, and obviously something happened, you have to follow protocol. And if Blake didn't, then he's got to pay the price. Right? I
think we all understand that.
Yeah.
And what you hope. So at that point in time, it's a phone call, a text message, an email. Like, how do you cover your base as a head coach? And I think you have to make sure that with the way things work, you have to send an email. Be like, boom, look, timestamp, here we go. Yeah. We pass it on.
And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not done with this. We're going to finish up on this story on the other side. Where do they go? They might have a pretty good football team, or maybe not. They've got some good pieces, and they've got competition at quarterback. But where do they go? And then Nate Dreiling, who many of you know from New Mexico State, is taking over there. So I want to finish up on that when we get back. Hey, you got events, whether it's a big giant conference, it's a holiday party, it's a wedding. Take your event to the next level. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. They have the space you need and a whole lot more. Diverse layouts. It will fulfill every planner's desire, including yours. I hold events there. The Isleta New Mexico Bowl hosts one of the player events at the convention center we have for years. Why do we keep going back? Well, because they treat us really, really well. Because it's easy access, because the staff is terrific. We just did the event, the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame event 2 weeks ago. I emceed that event. 700 people. They all got fed quickly. The food was good. The staff was great. The parking's accessible. It's right there in downtown with exterior and interior walls decorated by a number of local art pieces. Great food, great beverage options. They're located in the historic downtown area. Your event will satisfy every attendee and then more. If you're thinking of something, if you got an event, they got over 600,000 square footage of flexible indoor and outdoor meeting space. Kiva Auditorium's right there. Concessions and bars, 2 large digital marquees on the outside of the building, showcasing upcoming shows and events. Great interior aesthetics within the building. You've got an event, be at the center of it all. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Call them at 505-768-4575, 505-768-4575, or go online at albuquerquecc.com and get your information and plan your event.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
This is like I'm not, there's no good timing for anything like this. There's never good timing for something like this. Before I get into the football thing, do you think what his attorney had to say, does it make you feel any differently about how this ends up? Now, he's not going to go back and be the coach. I can't imagine with this new athletic director and the way they've gone that, oh yeah, everything's cool, your attorney's right, come back and coach. But I got to believe he's going to get paid, or at least there's going to be some sort of settlement listening to what the attorney had to say.
And that's always the challenge in this, because they're saying, well, this is entirely wrong and you're going to have to pay us all this money.
Right.
Then do you not want to be the coach? But
I mean, you want to be the coach, but they made it pretty clear
what got to the point that they brought this down.
And again, this is a new athletic director there. And I wonder if she's just saying, look, we saw this report. This is pretty cut and dry. We got to make a change, because otherwise we're going to get sued from the other side. Right? I mean, this is a crummy situation to be in. You want to be an athletic director?
It feels like it's like this happened or it didn't.
Well, okay. What it feels like to me is something happened. All right? There something happened. And it got to the coach. And I think where it comes down to is, did you report it or did you not? Did you follow protocol? Did you follow the conditions of your contract? Did you follow Title IX protocol? Did you? And I don't even know exactly what that means. I'm going to assume, did you take the proper steps through the proper channels? Did you go to your superior and report these and follow protocol? Or did you sit on it and try to cover up for a player or 2 or 3 or whatever the allegations are? The details of the allegations have not been released, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it to me, it sounds like it's one of those two things.
But that's why I know people are going to have a certain feeling on it. We've already had some of that coming in already. But if I'm Blake Anderson, I see what you're saying too, is a sense of, I didn't do anything and now you're pushing me out, so bleep all y'all, give me my money, I'm going away.
Well, so let me tell you why I kind of lean this way without knowing anything. And again, yeah, a little bit biased because I know Blake and I like him. But then why did the deputy AD and the player development guy get fired too? If they didn't know anything about it, right? If Blake didn't tell them, then what are they getting hit for?
That would be my thing. Then why is it coming back down on?
Right. If he gave it to
Blake.
them and they didn't do anything about it, then feels to me, as I just read these vague details and listen to his attorney and read the quotes out of the report, it almost feels like, well, it doesn't almost feel like, it feels like he let the deputy AD know. I don't even know what the player development director's responsibility is here. I don't even know what that means in college athletics, player director of player development. But if he let Jerry Bovee know, what's his job then? Did then he try to cover something up? Did he try to? And again, it'll come out. But that's where the fact that the guy above him is getting fired makes me think, okay, he must have alerted that guy. Otherwise, why would that guy get fired?
And I'm with you, and that's why I'm trying to walk through the steps of, what point or what happened to get Blake Anderson to this position. But when it gets here, you're right. That Blake Anderson is not coaching Utah State.
No, he's not coaching.
It's a team that now is going to be in a tailspin.
I mean, or is this one of those
month.
situations where Nate says, all right, we're rallying the troops, we're here, and it's us against the world, and let's go, guys. And we got 4 quarterbacks coming in. We got one from Iowa, one from Utah, one from Arizona State, one from Boise State, and let's go win it, and I'm going to have a great defense. And
That's what you try to do today.
Right?
So there's that one phone call like, well, hey, we got a couple NIL dollars left.
Hey, that quarterback, we got a 30-day
I was already
window.
hearing it yesterday. Some people like, what? Lobos need to be all over Utah State.
I mean, right? You got a hell of a receiver there. Jalen Royals is a 2024 All-America according to Athlon, right? I mean, he might be one of the best receivers in the country, certainly in this league. He 71 catches last year, JJ. They got a good running back. They got 5 returning starters on the offensive line. I mean, you wish you had 5 returning offensive starters on the offensive line, don't you? It's a mess up there, man. It's a bummer, and it's a mess, and it's yuck. 505-246-0610. Come on in today. Play radio with us on the 3rd of July. You get fireworks at the pitch tonight in the First Place Club. And Golden State Warriors have lost Klay Thompson. They have their eyes set on another shooter. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 at the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Warriors do, and everybody's putting the Warriors to bed. It looks like the Warriors and Buddy Hield are in conversations, and it's really interesting to me to think of another shooter in there. Does Buddy Hield make sense for you to go to the Warriors?
Buddy Hield makes sense for everyone right now.
He does, right? Like the Lakers.
Everyone. Buddy Hield is a dude that play 20 minutes. Take a bunch of threes, can get really hot. He's not going to be one of the most expensive players in your roster. And that's why teams are angling for Buddy Hield. They knew it was going to be kind of the second, third wave of free agency. Experienced shooter. Like Buddy Hield is someone that a lot of teams want to try to get.
Does he fit the Klay Thompson role? He doesn't play defense like Klay used to, but he can shoot.
What the Warriors are doing is just trying to amass role players. They got Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, they just signed that. Yep.
When you think of Kyle Anderson, he's
not Gary Anderson that we were just talking about. Or I mean Blake Anderson, who we were just talking about.
Yes, Kyle Anderson, the basketball player.
Different guy.
Kyle and Blake are two different people. He's a slow Draymond Green. So he fits that role. He's a facilitator in an offense. Bring in Buddy Hield. He's a shooter, which is something outside of Klay and Steph that the Warriors lack on that roster right now. So there's not a one-for-one replacement of what Klay Thompson brings you, but you just try to
piece it together
at this point in time. And those are two good additions if they do get Buddy Hield.
I think Buddy Hield would be really nice for them. It's interesting what's coming out of the Bay Area right now and the comments. So evidently, Klay Thompson asked Steph Curry not to use his influence to get Klay a contract with the Warriors. So Klay and Steph obviously are tight. Klay requested Steph, hey, man, do not go to them. I want them to want me. I don't want them to want me because you're using your influence. Obviously, Klay's very proud, and I don't blame him. And this has had to be tough on him, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. Right? Bob Myers isn't there anymore. It's a new GM. It's different. But if you were Steph, and let me read you Steph's social media post. Is on his Instagram. Gonna miss you, Klay Thompson. Even though we won't finish the journey together, what we did will never be done again. Couldn't have imagined a better run with you and Draymond Green. Changed the whole Bay Area. Changed the way the game is played. Killer Klay at the center of it all. Thank you for everything, bro. Go enjoy playing basketball and doing what you do. Splash Bros for life, my guy. Pretty cool post. Obviously, Steph wanted him to stay. I think they all wanted him to stay. If you were Steph, and Clay came to you and said, hey, I don't want you going to front office. I know. And Steph probably said, man, let me go use my influence, whatever. Let me go put in a word for you. And Clay said, no, please don't. I don't want you to do that. I want them to want me on you. Would you have stayed away?
Yeah.
I think I probably would have too.
Because there's so much respect between those two and what they've done in their careers. And I understand it from Klay Thompson's side. All right, you went and did this for Draymond. What are you going to do for me? How's it going to work out for us? Where's the love?
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes reality hits you first.
You guys, I think of, I mean, this has happened. Look, I mean, every franchise has a guy, and probably more than one, who was long-term successful, long-term popular, long-term bleeds the colors of that team, blood, sweat, tears, dirt, made a lot of money for that franchise. I mean, pick it, and then had to go somewhere else because bottom line is the end is the end, and it's a business. And whether that's Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers, whether that's Albert Pujols going to the Angels and then the Dodgers, right? I mean, every franchise has one, don't they? A guy who was long-term your dude, but it came down towards the end of I just can't pay you what you want. You're not that dude anymore, and we got to move.
And it is fascinating, the dynamic of how Golden State feels versus the Lakers. Mavericks believe he's that dude.
Okay, so, and you said this yesterday, and you're right. The Lakers and the Mavericks don't need him to be the number 2.
Yes.
The Lakers and Mavericks need him to be a piece. Maybe even number 4. 3 or 4. Depending
3
how,
for sure on the Mavericks.
Well, 3 on the Mavericks.
Austin Reeves, Klay Thompson.
Yeah, let's see how they're constructed by the time it's all said and done. Right? On the Warriors, he kind of needed to be number 2. And he's not that guy anymore. And so they had to make a business decision. Oh, and by the way, this is a business. Now, reportedly, the Warriors offered him 2 years at $48 million last summer. 2 years at 48. All right, $24 million a year, pretty good. Yeah, for you and me. Then you look at what they gave freaking Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, the guy who Draymond dropped, he got 4 years at $128 million. Draymond got 4 years at $100 million. How about the whole, when we sit around and throw these numbers around, the biggest deal of the three of them was Jordan freaking Poole, and he's not there anymore. He got 4 for $128. Draymond got 4 for $100, and they offered Clay 2 for $48.
I think there is a little bit of buyer's remorse from Golden State.
No, on Jordan Poole?
Yes.
Oh.
And they've missed the last few years.
Yes.
On extending this window with Steph Curry. They had a number 2 overall pick in a draft and absolutely flubbed it.
Who did they take? Was that Wiseman pick?
James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Like, they have made some mistakes. Even with
and that was
winning
Bob
a
Myers.
title.
Bob Myers was the
even
guy
with
then.
getting that unlikely last title.
Yeah.
Like, they've swung and missed.
Well, I'll tell you what, they'll take a swing and miss to win a title, but that the two didn't correlate.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do with each other. You're right.
Of
who was in that draft instead of Wiseman?
I'll pull it up to double check, but it's like you had like that right there.
Right.
And that could have, whether you used that pick or did something else. The Wiggins thing, it's hard to look back on that because he was like the second best player at times when they won the title.
Andrew Wiggins?
Yes.
Yes.
But just now he's reverted back to
Andrew Wiggins.
Yes. So that one I'm not too concerned about. But Poole missing on the number 2 overall pick.
Well, they paid Poole. Jordan Poole had a good playoff run a few years back.
Not $100 $100 million.
Look, I'm with you. And so they said, oh, look at that. He's going to be our guy. Look how great he is. Other teams want him. We got to keep him here. We got to tie him up. 4 years, $128 million, and then he gets dropped by Draymond. I mean, just popped in the face and dropped, and then they can't. And everybody on that team admitted, including Draymond Green, that the tension between Jordan Poole and Draymond ripped that team apart that year, and they didn't succeed to the level at which they thought they could succeed. And so they had to ship Jordan Poole out. Go ahead.
So this is
what year was this?
So this is 2018? 20.
2020. All right, this is the draft in 2020.
Where the Warriors had the number 2 overall pick. And this is...
Whose pick was that?
It was theirs.
I guess they were that bad. Yeah. Who went number 1?
This was the Anthony Edwards draft.
Okay.
So Anthony Edwards, number 1.
All right. That was a hit.
But this goes back to when you are at the top, and specifically like top 5 of a draft.
Yeah.
Like throw need out the window.
Take best player.
Take the best player available. And Golden State was like, oh, we need a forward. Because even if this piece wouldn't have fit, it would have been a better bargaining chip for your franchise. It would have been a lot more intriguing. Because you know what number 3 overall?
Was it John Morant?
LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, and he's been really good.
And does he blossom into that? Well, you're playing behind Steph Curry. I don't care.
Or with Steph Curry.
You're
and
playing
Klay
with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough fit on that team,
asset.
right? It's such a tough fit on that team, right? Because did they have Jordan Poole already? No, they did not. Well, maybe they did.
Because after that, there's not.
Who was 3, 4?
Where
who was after that?
Gosh.
So who was 4,
it's
5,
Patrick
6?
Williams in Chicago, who actually just got a $90 million deal.
Yeah, because everybody.
But that would have at least been a much better piece of what they've been looking for.
Than James Wiseman.
Isaac Okoro, Okonkwo, USC, went to Atlanta. Killian Hayes, Obi Toppin, who actually just got a $60 million deal with the Pacers. Denny Abdia, Jalen Smith, Yvonne Vassell. It's actually a good scorer for the Spurs. And then Tyrese Halliburton was 12th overall.
So the answer would have been, well, Halliburton, but who knew, right? On the Halliburton. Where did Halliburton? Where did he play college?
He played at Iowa State.
I guess who knew? But yeah, LaMelo would have been interesting.
The
that
only
was a need
one
pick.
that was for sure at the time.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. At the time when you stood there, it didn't feel obvious. It feels obvious now. But yeah, that's it's just funny. Every franchise has that guy. So, all right, 505-246.
The 21st pick in that draft.
Who was that?
Tyrese Maxey.
Pretty good. Really hit hard. So you can find guys lit too. Not at 50. Who was 55 in that draft?
That was the Jay Scrub draft that you mentioned.
All right, what are you doing tonight? You got First Place Club you can go watch. It's United and OCSC. It's we'll get into that, how to get out there, and what we're doing for the 3rd of July on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
It's out there tonight. Got a couple of emails on this. What is soccer? Gopher says, what's the soccer story tonight, Jeff? Do the newscasts lead off with the game or, in bold letters, in front of a franchise record crowd of XYZ at the Albuquerque Sports Stadium? United, yeah, their stories are almost always led with the crowd size. They get good crowds. So I think that's where. All right. They're playing really well. Let me get you some of your correspondence. This is on the text line. Steve listens in I love we got listeners in Michigan, by the way. I've become more and more soft-hearted to the people in Michigan over the last couple of months. Steve from Michigan says, just curious if NMU beats Auburn again, would that be considered an upset? And what do you think about New Mexico State's chances against Texas A&M Aggie versus Aggie? So UNM, the University of New Mexico, has never beaten Auburn. New Mexico State beat them last year. Would it be considered an upset? Yeah, a huge upset. And look, if New Mexico State played them again, who beat them last year, the Aggies would still be 30-point underdogs, wouldn't they? If New Mexico State went down and played at Auburn, they'd be at 28 to 35-point under right now.
Yes, they would be.
And New Mexico will be the same thing, University. So, yeah, that'd be considered a huge upset. And A&M, the Aggies going in there, it's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough place to play. Lobos went there last year, right? Got run out of there. It's 104,000 people. Who's the new head coach there at A&M? I should know this, shouldn't I? But, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Headed down there. And both of those are. Also on the text line, by the way, this came in. Lobo football team will beat Montana State, New Mexico State, Utah State, Colorado State, San Diego State, Hawaii, and possibly Wyoming. They will show well in Arizona and against Air Force and Washington State. That would be 6 to 7 wins. That'd be a hell of a season, dude. That's Coach of the Year status. That's get people back on board status. Maybe get some legislative money to help re-up the stadium status. Wouldn't it be? If they won 6 or 7 games this year?
It'd be fantastic. Love to see it.
I think we'd all love to see it. I think it's good for everybody's business if that happens. Yeah, I think that'd be wonderful. Ron wants to vent. Can I vent, Jeffy? I guess. Remember back in the day when small drinks were small? Then over time they got bigger and bigger to where the small contained enough sugar to put you in a diabetic coma and the large were bladder busters. When did they get small again? Yesterday I was at Arches and they gave me a small with like 12 cubes of ice and 2 ounces of product. There wasn't enough beverage in there to extinguish a match. Oh, Ron. Now you got to start ordering larges again. Yeah, I don't know when that happened. But you can bet. Dan says, I hate this rule, Jeffrey and Juan Jose. That's you. Baseball wins at soggy Southwest University Park in a contest called the 7th with Josh Sushan Jr. on the field. When you play 50 times like Albuquerque's baseball team in the Chihuahuas, I don't see why you can't finish the next day. Because that's the rule. If once you play 5 innings, it's an official game. And if it rains and you can't play anymore, that's the rule. Like you can hate the rule all you want. And Joe Traub. Josh is off. John's the dad. Joe's the new guy. Joe Traub is calling games this week. Did a nice job yesterday. Listen to him. Les says, why coaches are quitting college jobs, Jeff? I don't get paid enough to do my job. Now, when there's an incident, I have to notify not only my direct supervisor, but I have to remember which central office administrator I have to narc on my player to. It's from Les. Les, look.
There's a lot of people that really sound like part of the problem that are writing in today.
Les, I'm trying to put this into a perspective. Wherever you work, there's protocols, right? And I got nothing to correlate this to other than athletics. Because I guess if you work in an insurance office and one of your direct reports gets accused of sexual assault, well, I mean, if it's at work, you have a chain, you have to report it. Yeah, you have to report it. You have to report allegations, and then there's the investigation process. Now, the investigation process that came out, JJ, do we know, did they investigate the allegations of sexual misconduct, domestic violence, all the things that were mentioned in there? Was there a result of an investigation? Did whatever was alleged actually happen? Do we know that? Or does that even matter?
I think that would matter.
It might not. Because the allegations are that Blake Anderson, the head coach at Utah State, who was informed yesterday he's getting fired, did not follow protocol, did not follow the terms of his employment, did not follow university standards and Title IX compliance in reporting up the chain, reporting appropriately these allegations. I haven't heard if any of these allegations have proved to be true, and like I said, I don't even know if it matters when it comes to Blake.
Yes, this, what I go back to is if it was reported and other people above Blake Anderson and that chain were fired, were they all involved in the cover-up? Like, what got it to this point?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, right? Maybe they did report it, but they didn't give all the facts or all the...
Because that's a problem. You can cry all you want with your text about deep state administrators, this or that. It's important to report these things because there's supposed to be a process. And if you go through your process and like, guess what? Nothing happened. You clear people and you move on. Where you don't want to have happen is too many people that quote unquote not narking on their players. And then in like Baylor, and you had how many issues go down with that football team, and Art Briles pushing things aside, not reporting things. It's pretty simple.
Hence why there's protocols.
But now with this story, the questions we have is Blake Anderson is adamant that it was reported. It feels like it was because of who else was fired, but then what happened at that point? Was it not addressed appropriately? Was this something that they just said, hey, we're just going to try to keep this in-house? Don't let it get out. We're not going to have an investigation done by anyone or authorities.
And that's where the lawyer's coming in and saying, hey, what do you want me to do? Like, he reported it. You're not going to fire him because the people above him didn't do their job. And in fact, the attorney is saying this is a novel approach to try to fire a guy without pay. This has never been done before. It's a nice hill or an uphill battle. They try to fire him for cause just to avoid paying him. So we'll watch this play out at Utah State. Man, it's uncomfortable. All right, 505-246-0610. He's a big name, probably the biggest, one of the two biggest names in baseball. Will he compete in the home run derby? There was some talk he would, some talk he won't. I'll tell you the latest. Next, it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like and shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
And with that comes maybe what you look forward to more than the game itself. Although I like the All-Star. I think the Major League Baseball All-Star Game is the best of the All-Star games. Is the Home Run Derby, and who will compete? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck getting today, 5:05. 2460610. Shohei Ohtani is the guy that everybody wants to see, him and Aaron Judge. And Shohei has been rumored. He's been teasing. He said he will not compete in the home run derby July 15th. He's second in the major league with home runs with 27. He has taken part in the home run derby before. He was there in 2021 at Coors Field, went out in the first round. This year it's going to be in Arlington, Texas. Quote, I'm in the middle of my rehab progression, so it's not going to look like I'll be participating, he said through his interpreter. So, look, he's not pitching this year. He's still rehabbing. He's making $700 million over 10 years. And I think there was a minute there where people were going, look at Shohei looks great. You're going to see him in the home run derby. And this is probably the right thing for him to do, don't you think?
This is the right move for Shohei right now. He's done it. Yes, he's the superstar. But they got some young guys, Gunnar Henderson. That will be the showcase of the event. And, man, the blast he hit last night, the go-ahead home run.
He hits bombs.
High fastball, top of the zone. Boom. Dude's the best player in the game.
Yeah, he is. He is. And
I am okay that not participating right now.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, too. Do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. And Aaron Judge is right there. And by the way, Aaron Judge has hit 32 home runs. He's making a run at the Triple Crown, and he's making a run at his American League record. Yankees lost to the Reds on Tuesday night. But Aaron Judge hits another bomb, and he's on pace to threaten his own American League record. He owns the American League record of 62 home runs in a season. And that was just 2 seasons ago, 2022. He hits bombs, too. And why he hits them with such ease, dude. I guess Ohtani does, too. You probably know this. How big do you think Shohei Ohtani is?
Shohei?
Yeah.
Like 6'2"?
He's 6'4", 210.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
He's an edge rusher, man. Like, he's a big dude. And I don't think people realize that because he makes it look so fluid. He's almost effortless, plus he can pitch. But, yeah, dude, he's 6'4", 210. He's not Aaron Judge big, but he's a big dude. 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
It's an honor to be on the 3-time award-winning show.
3 times?
Is it more than 3? Is it 4 or 5? Are you like LeBron counting right?
I mean, this show, we won 8 out of 9.
Well,
I want to
Jeff's a 3-time New Mexico sportscaster of the year.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
this show's got like double-digit awards. This one.
You know what? It's amazing, and I'm honored to be a small, infinitesimally small part of the show once in a while. So
not 4, not 5.
We back it up.
Not 6, not 7. I'll go count them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, so before I want to wish everybody, as U.S. Americans, a happy 4th of July holiday weekend. Be safe.
In the
Don't blow
Iraq
fireworks off in your hands. Right? So, you know what's going to happen. Hey, sometimes this show, the content's amazing. It's one of my favorite shows ever. Both locally and nationally. You guys are amazing. Sometimes the stories just write themselves, Jeff. It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David couldn't have better content. Yesterday you asked your wonderful guest. I laughed out loud. He's talking about Legos. And you said, he goes, he's divorced, right? And
he said, I got divorced. Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I asked him because of Lego?
And you're like, well, is that why you got divorced? Because your wife? And he's like, no, she encouraged me to get them. That was amazing.
Well, the dude, he's a grown, what did he call it, JJ? Adult Lego builders. There was an acronym for it. AFAL. Adult
fans of Legos?
I think that's right. AFALs. And he's like, yeah, no, and I've got thousands of Legos downstairs, and well, I got divorced. I'm like, well, it makes sense. Like, I mean, is that why?
Okay. Hey, by the way,
sorry, JJ's like, hold on, man, I got a lot of Legos too.
That's our sweet deal.
I know.
I'm excited. I'm going. 'Cause
Are
I have
you going?
a 5-year-old.
That's cool.
But there was a lot better ways to present that.
That was amazing. Isn't there a Legoland up on the east side of the mountain?
I don't know.
Like Tinker Toyland or something?
I think there's one in North County, San Diego. I think I've been to it.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what's interesting is one of my neighbors in Albuquerque, they had, the kids were growing up and they were young, and I hadn't seen them in a while. People move, and they told me that their daughter moved to Houston and got involved with some of their friends, and they were the first to market with adult coloring books on Amazon, and they made millions. Right, they were the first concept, and so you just never know what's going to spurn.
Wait. Adult. So is it like adult content coloring books kind of stuff?
No, coloring books for adults, because people that struggle with, that are in therapy and have psychological issues, they develop these coloring books for adults to calm them down, and they made millions, and then it kind of blew up because once you're good at something, someone's going to steal your idea, right?
Yeah, God bless them. I want to steal that idea.
That's right. Hey, so quickly on Klay Thompson, I think that we all know the Golden State Warriors revolutionized the NBA with how they played, and it was an amazing run. But quite frankly, Klay, he's not washed, but he's a fraction of himself, and you can't give a guy a huge contract who is on a shooting scholarship, right? And that's essentially what he is now. I think he could still be very effective. He was bad last year. Like in several big moments, several big games, he was bad. I think he was over 10 in the last game in the play-in tournament or whatever they were doing. But Klay, he was an amazing defender, a good rebounder, good length, amazing shooter, one of the all-time great shooters. But, people age out, and the game passes you by. And do I think he could come in off the bench and give you 10, 14, 16 points? Absolutely. But, yeah, it's interesting how things change quickly. I think that fourth championship, guys, really solidified them, because if you remember the first championship, which they fully deserved, both Kyrie and Love got hurt in that first series against the Cavaliers. And then they picked up Durant, right, and they had an amazing run. But that fourth championship without Durant really, I think, solidified things as a great dynasty.
Yeah,
so,
as being dynastic, 100%.
Hey, enjoy the holiday, guys. Thanks for letting me share a few thoughts.
All right,
and,
enjoy the
have a
Lego.
beautiful day.
Enjoy the Legos. See you. All right, 505-246-06. And I think that's a great point. I don't know that they needed the fourth championship, but the fourth championship who they beat? I'm trying to remember that series. Was it Boston?
They did beat the Boston Celtics.
So it had nothing to do with LeBron James. It had nothing to do with Kevin Durant. I think he's right. Not that they needed to, because they won 3, but that core 3 of them, right? Draymond, Klay, and Steph, whichever order you want to put them together, and that's not the right order. That I think he's right. Solidified that dynasty as being whatever you think it is, and there's, I mean, I don't know. People are always going to hate on it. Oh, but these guys were hurt, but they only beat them. But man, I don't care. You win 4. I take all the butts you want and go sit on them. Honestly, you win 4. There's no buts to it. Never.
I need to write that.
I never said that before in my life. I just thought
that is great. I'm gonna put that on my phone right now. I always jot down like phrases or things that really stand out to me.
Is that all right?
And I'm gonna see if I can use that one.
Yeah, I've never said that.
I heard one the other day. It was fantastic. It was, man, he's as angry as a mosquito in a mannequin store.
See, that's good.
I was like, oh,
yeah,
I like
that would
that.
piss me off.
I want to try to use that like for a coach next year.
That's actually really good. He's as angry as a mosquito in a mannequin
like
shop.
just going off on the ref or something.
Yeah. That's like it's harder to circumcise than a mosquito. Yeah. 505-246-0610. I think that's right. Keep them coming. Hey, look, crime's an issue. You know that you've got to do what you can to protect yourself, and I suggest IPS. I've used International Protective Service for years. They protect my home. When I travel, they do extra checks. They pick up packages that are left. They pick up mail, newspaper, pull the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day. But if you've been a victim of a home or business break-in, you get it. Don't wait to be a victim. Don't wait until it's too late. Call IPS and have them protect what's important to you. They respond within 7 minutes or less. They install alarms. They install cameras. They've got a state-of-the-art facility to monitor those cameras 24/7. This raises the level of security around your home and around your business. Look, you're traveling. It's that time of year. I get it. So who's watching your home when you're away? Don't let it be the bad guys. A quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business. It's what IPS does, and you'll sleep better at night. You can't prevent it all, but if you've got no protection, you are more likely to be victimized. Here's their phone number. Call IPS. Protect what's important to you. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
But after seeing some of the deals done this offseason, he said, quote, "I'm 30 years old, also looking for a new deal, so very, very excited to."
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
They fired Blake Anderson?
Yep. Utah State fired Blake Anderson, yep.
Fired Blake Anderson.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I guess this is the identical situation that Bob Davey faced,
So
right?
somebody else made that correlation earlier. Rudy, I don't know. And see, here's the deal. I like Blake a lot. But if he didn't follow protocol, then there's got to be some sort of retribution.
Yeah, that was what got Bob, among other things. That's what got Coach Davey fired. Was that there was that allegation, and he did not go to the Office of Economic OEO office and report it. He reported it to the campus police.
Yeah, I don't know what their protocol was. What Utah State is alleging is he didn't follow the terms of his contract. There was a sexual assault, obviously allegation, domestic violence, whatever it was. Didn't comply with Title IX, and he didn't follow Utah State's policy and didn't follow the terms of his employment. And the crazy part to me here is, his lawyer is saying, no, he did. He's getting fired for what his superiors didn't do. And the fact that the deputy athletic director, who I'm going to assume oversees football, and the director of player personnel also are getting fired makes me think, well, he must have then escalated this to them. Why else would they be involved?
Yeah, something happened where they either didn't want to go through with it because they didn't believe the victim or whatever. But in this day and age, you can't be involved in any of that. That's the old Art Briles thing, called the player and said, don't do it again, and figured it was done.
Well,
so
yeah, that can't be the way it is. It just can't. And again, I like Blake, and I think, the personal tragedy he's been through, and I think he's a pretty upstanding guy. I want to watch this play out, because this one surprised me, knowing him a little bit. I'm not going to pretend I know him, really well. I know people who are close to him, but this one surprised me, man.
It really surprised me because I've known Blake since he coached here at UNF.
Yeah, back in 99
and,
through 01.
I just don't think that I didn't think that Blake would do anything that would ever, minimize or do anything where a victim is concerned with regard to that allegation.
Yeah, Rudy, we'll watch this one play out. This will be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but Utah State just suffered a huge blow, and we'll see how Nate Drilling does. But, man, never being a head coach before and stepping into that, good luck.
Tough time of year. All right, man, appreciate you. See you. Yeah, it's a tough time. I mean, there's no good time for this, but it's a tough time. All right, when we get back, show me the money. And don't tell me Caitlin Clark isn't raising every single ship in her league. Oh, boy. What a crowd. What a game. Oh, and what a payday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman.
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
you wake up on a Wednesday morning, the 3rd of July? LeBron James signed a new deal with the Lakers. 2 years, $104 million. Player option in the second year, no trade clause. That's your free agent haul as of today. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, thanks for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. We talked about the Utah State situation. Utah State, whom the Lobos will play on the 19th of October, informed their head coach, a former Lobo assistant, Blake Anderson, started his coaching career at Eastern New Mexico in 92 and then was in Albuquerque from 99 to 01. That he is being terminated and with cause for violations of Title IX compliance and not reporting a sexual misconduct allegation. And he was fired along with the deputy athletic director and the director of player personnel. The lawyer for Blake Anderson said this isn't right, and you can't just fire somebody because you want to and make up cause and not pay him. And so they're going to fight this and say he did everything right. 505-246-0610. All right, I want to hit this. The Indiana Fever have been playing better. That's Caitlin Clark's team. They got beat last night in Vegas, 88-69. Vegas is the reigning champions in that league. But they made money last night, JJ. So the Fever typically play their home games over at the Mandalay Bay. Michelob Ultra Arena is what that's called. That holds about 12,000 people. And so the front office came to their head coach, Becky Hammond, and said, would you like to move the game to T-Mobile Arena? That's where the Las Vegas Golden Knights play, where the MMA is, it's about 20,000+. She said, well, can we make money? They said, yeah, we'll make money. And she said, move it. They had 20,366 people, the fifth largest crowd in the history of the WNBA last night. Largest regular season crowd at a WNBA game since 1999. Tell me again how Caitlin Clark doesn't move the needle, how somehow she's overrated. Now, look, she had, 13 points or whatever she had last night. They lost. She's still a rookie. But JJ, 13.6 rebounds, 11 assists. I mean, she is packing people in like
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
And it was one team, Chicago Sky. That went off. The league is getting it. People that are playing against Caitlin Clark get it. Diana Taurasi earlier this week. I think that was a big moment in this of showing respect. Yeah. But it's also a part of sport. Just because Caitlin Clark is this amazing phenomenon doesn't mean that she should be treated with kid gloves by other players. But the league is doing the right things. These franchises are doing the right things when it comes to venues that they are playing in ticket sales. And I think everyone is seeing that and understands it.
They're killing it. They're killing it. It's a business. They're going to move again for Angel Reese in the Sky later in the season. They're going to move to T-Mobile as well in Vegas.
And by the way,
yes,
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese both named WNBA All-Stars yesterday.
As they should. As they both should be. And that's the right move by this league. They can play on the same team?
Yes, they will.
How about that? I kind of want to see that.
The WNBA All-Stars versus Team USA.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that. Yeah.
So those that are not on the Team USA roster that are All-Stars.
That's her.
Yep.
And Angel Reese. All right, I like that. All right, 505-246-0610. Hello, Howard.
So what's this, coloring books for adults for therapy?
I don't know, man. Somebody made millions off of that. That and Legos. What the hell do I know?
Well, I don't know, but I think this NFL season I'll probably need a bunch of coloring books and some Legos.
Yeah, you can color and build yourself a champion because you ain't going to watch one.
And, give me a lot of blue and silver Legos and see what I can make of it, right?
You can make yourself a quarterback and a defensive end, maybe even a wide receiver. Yeah.
Try to do something. Hey, guys, so I'm just wondering. I kind of sounded off to JJ real quick off the air, but, I mean, LeBron went after 104 for 2 years, right?
That's correct.
He got the max deal. I'm still curious as to why he didn't take less if he's really dedicated to winning, because aren't there options at the trade deadline that might come up and they might need a little bit of cap space? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
No, that's not how it works with the trade deadline. You still have to match salaries.
Well, but what he's
him
saying,
taking less doesn't open up X amount of money at the trade deadline.
Oh, okay. I thought it would open up some cap space. So I thought, well, maybe if he took a little less, maybe they could do something at the trade deadline. What are their options from here? Are they out of money? Are they up against it? Would they have to pay the luxury tax?
DeMar DeRozan is kind of it. If to stay under that second apron. Right?
And that's not much.
Well, it wasn't outside of Paul George and Klay Thompson. There was not a name this free agency class that any franchise is like, oh my gosh, we just signed this dude. We're going to be a championship team.
Those were your two dudes. And now it's going and piece things together and make Rui Hachimura better and make Vanderbilt better and make Austin Reeves better. And what are they doing with D'Angelo Russell?
Well, Edward, if you're still listening, can you send me over that link for those adult coloring books?
Yeah,
I think I'm going to be in need.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July, guys.
See you, Howard. Yeah. D'Angelo Russell. Is he a free agent?
No, he picked up his player option.
So he stayed. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're running it back basically with what they got. I mean, have they done anything? They got Dalton Connect, which actually might be an interesting piece.
It's a little bit is at some point with these teams. How do you mix in young players? Because it ain't easy. But you signed a dude on your bench to $32 million, 4 years. Max Christie, is he going to get some run?
Oh, yeah, they did do that. Yeah, they signed Max Christie. Yeah. I mean, okay.
I get it. It's the Lakers. It's supposed to be about championships, this or that. Once Paul George and Klay Thompson went off the board, there wasn't going to be that move they can make, be like, oh my gosh, that's why you take a pay cut.
Yeah. And that's what he was going to take a pay cut for. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in, 888-922-0610. Your emails are coming in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we come back, let's go silver and blue. Are they backed into a corner? Who's backed into a corner? CeeDee Lamb skipped the entire offseason program. When are you going to see the Cowboys' best receiver at camp, which opens up in about 2 weeks? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling it like
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hard Knocks off season with the New York Giants. Did you know they were doing that? I caught the episode on how they decided they're getting rid of Saquon Barkley. It was interesting. Cowboys are in a tough spot. And, I mean, with the quarterback, with the defensive end, with the wide receiver. So CeeDee Lamb skipped their entire offseason program. I mean, OTAs, mandatory minicamp. He's not planning, by all the reports, to show up for training camp without a new deal. 5 years, $30 million with a signing bonus at a minimum of $1.7 million would trim more than $10 million from his current cap number. All right, so JJ, that increases their issue in the future, and that's why the Cowboys aren't going to do that in their pickle. What do they do here? Prescott, $55.4 million this year, so he counts for $54 million next year. Even if he's not on the team, he counts against their cap. A new deal will knock down those numbers, which is why Dak. You keep hearing Dak's got the leverage. Dak's got the leverage, and people are saying, "Well, why? He's not that damn good." Look, he's got the leverage because he counts against their cap for $54.5 million next year, whether he's there or not. Micah Parsons, due to make $2.9 this year, $2.9 million. He says he's willing to be patient. Like I know we've knocked the hell out of this and beat this ad nauseum.
But this is the future of the Dallas Cowboys.
It absolutely.
And how do they be competitive over the next few seasons? It's stop kicking the can down the road. Pay your franchise players now. And the Cowboys, what they're backing themselves into is if they don't believe in Dak Prescott, they're going to have to eat that number next year. They have to draft a quarterback then. Have to figure it out. Where they want to go try to get Sherrod Sanders, do everything they can, which it might even take getting up to number 1 overall. So mortgaging even more of your future at that point in time.
Play GM. What would you do? What's first?
Because I would say figure out Dak, but with what they've done to this point, doesn't feel like they believe in him. Now, what you can do, because that number is kind of there regardless, is if you get through this season and then negotiate based on what happens. I guess that would be best case scenario, is like everyone shows up. So kind of the way we're talking about San Francisco, right? They have a big plan after this year. Okay. Get everyone to show up. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Parsons, Dak Prescott. And then if Dak does finally get you to an NFC Championship game, then you can sell, hey, this is why we're extending him. If he comes up short, then you can say this is why we're moving on.
Yeah.
But I don't think CeeDee Lamb, and I think at some point in time, Mike Parsons is going to be like, you know what? It's really not worth $2.9 million for me to go into the end of my deal.
So I think Dak is the back end. I got him for this year. He's coming to camp. I got to address my immediates. And I think CeeDee Lamb comes first. And I work something with him. I figure something out with Parsons, and I think the Dak deal gets pushed. I do. But sitting around doing nothing is sitting around doing nothing. And it's getting you nowhere. And JJ, I look at them and I'm like, okay, did they get better? They were a team that won the NFC East. Great. Then they got smoked in the first round of the playoffs. Did they get better? And I'm struggling looking at how the Cowboys got better. I think they got worse offensively just because I think their running back situation is so murky. I don't know that they got any better defensively. Their quarterback's the same. They won the NFC East last year. I think Philly's bouncing back. I think I don't know what the hell happened in Philly. I honestly don't. But to think that they're done in the coronation that they are right now, the way they're constructed with Jalen Hurts and those receivers, and hell, they just had to Saquon Barkley. They went out and got better. I think Philly's coming out. Philly's going to win that division. I think the Giants and Washington are going to be better. And again, I'll tell you, I think it's more probable is not the right word, more likely. And I think they're a wild card team that goes out in the first round again, which whatever, it's what they always are. But if you're going to ask me, more likely they get to the NFC Championship game or don't make the playoffs, to me the answer is easy, and it's don't make the playoffs. And I can see a scenario where they don't make the playoffs. So how is sitting around doing nothing doing anything?
It's not. And this, to me, if you know kind of the Dak Prescott contract, like you're going to take that hit. So figure out CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, at least land 2 franchise cornerstones for the next 4 to 5 years. And then make your move at quarterback. You're going to have to draft a rookie, of course. Maybe, you know who could be, and bring in a Sam Darnold.
All right, well,
one of those guys.
Let me back this up.
Restart it.
Because there's a piece here that we never talk about. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we don't talk about it because we never do. People love Cooper Rush because he had that 4-game stretch where he won games of backup. And they did make the deal for Trey Lance. And Trey Lance there's been no murmurs, which is perfect. That's how this Trey Lance thing should be. I don't need noise out of my 3rd string quarterback. Is there a chance that internally they think Trey Lance is their next guy up? And here's a guy who was drafted 2nd overall in the draft a few years back that they got, and he's sitting there and he's developing, and they think they can turn this whole thing over to Trey Lance?
It's on the board.
I mean, Cooper Rush on the board?
Yes.
Because they might be sitting there internally saying, well, they don't know what we got. We got Cooper, and we got Trey, and we can get them on the cheap. I mean, if Dak doesn't perform to where it's not even about Dak. Like, Dak could go and throw for 1,000,000 yards if they go out in the first round of the playoffs again. It just doesn't matter, right? They've won enough damn division flags.
That is correct.
I can see a scenario where they're sitting there, where Jerry and his kid are sitting around thinking that they're smart, and maybe they are. Maybe they know something we all don't know.
No, they don't know. That's what you have. And every team has to work with what they have. But you're not better off with Trey Lance and Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott. But it gets to a point of you go out in the playoffs again early. If you make the playoffs or you miss the playoffs, then what do you change? Where does it start?
Well, it's going to start.
And it's going to start at quarterback.
And head coach. It's going to start at head coach and quarterback. And I could see them saying, we're going to give Trey a chance. He's a great talent.
That would be if they can't do something big in the draft.
Well, that would mean they'd have to be really bad and get up high enough or trade their way up.
Because if they miss the playoffs, then you think, all right, could they be 14th, 15th in the first round?
Yeah, that's about where that would be.
And if you wanted to make a splash and you wanted to change, you package that with future first-round picks, going up there and get Shador.
Is Shador the answer?
Well, better answer than Trey Lance.
I mean, probably, right? But I wonder if that's what they're thinking internally. I've heard nothing about Trey Lance. Have you? What they think about him? He's still there. Now, he's their third-string guy. Does he beat out Cooper Rush for their backup? I kind of want to see Trey Lance play in the preseason. I know that sounds silly. Well, what the hell do you care about the preseason? I kind of want to see if there's any improvement there, don't you? Don't you want to see if there... I don't believe there is, okay? I believe the Trey Lance thing, there's nothing against Trey Lance. I mean, he never stood a chance. His senior year was the COVID year. They manufactured 2 games in the spring to showcase him. Literally, North Dakota State did to show him, and God bless him, they got him drafted and he made money. I'm not mad at him. I mean, San Francisco just swung and missed and completely misevaluated that young man. That's on them. I'm not mad at him. But I just, the little bit we've seen.
Trey Lance is an option. Even with as crazy as everyone thinks Jerry Jones is, there's no way that franchise is sitting there going, this is their golden ticket.
Then why'd they go get him? What was the point?
Someone, whether it was Mike McCarthy, one of his guys, was like,
would they give a 5th-round pick or something?
Like a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance.
4th-round pick? Yeah, I mean, to have another guy sitting there, it's another body, it's another camp arm. I get it. All right, what about Cooper Rush? People love Cooper Rush. He came in when Dak was hurt. You see what he did? Remember he was Uncle Time. Right? He was undefeated until he wasn't. I don't know. Where do you go? All right, 505-246-0610. Would love to hear from you. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. When we come back, I told you what Steph Curry did or didn't do to try to keep Clay. What was Draymond Green's response? And what did he do? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Congratulations.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
It says, for people criticizing LeBron for taking his max deal for 2 years, you guys have a short memory. Kobe Bryant trashed the Lakers for the better part of a decade because of his contract. Also, they need to ditch Russell, get him off that team. Elite athletes are always given special treatment. It's nothing new. It's nothing that will ever stop. He says, let me rephrase. Kobe had a contract at the end of his career that crippled the Lakers financially for almost a decade. Lakers were not playoff contenders at the end of Kobe's career. While LeBron's Lakers are not championship material, they will be in the playoffs. LeBron teams for like the 18th time. Also get rid of Russell. That BS disconnect with this team during the playoffs was unprofessional, and he should be on another team if that's his behavior. So I think we made it pretty clear. Kobe's teams at the end were really bad, and his contract put them in cap hell, and that's why they weren't competitive. And yeah, I mean, right? We did say that, didn't we?
I don't know if it's said enough at times.
Okay.
But I think it's with Kobe Bryant, like he's gotten to a point where it's like people just don't even want to mention, the contract at the end or
it was horrible
when he wanted to be traded, which is fine because ultimately he was an amazing Los Angeles Laker.
I yes, there's a lot of things you don't mention with Kobe. Because
and speaking of playing with other superstars, like the Shaq Kobe thing happened.
Yeah, but I don't know whose fault that was. I mean, you know, Shaq takes as much blame as Kobe does, and Shaq's admitted. Shaq said, and I'm paraphrasing, but if he wasn't so immature, they would have won 10. What he said. I don't know. They would have.
Which is interesting, like, because that is not a word you associate with Kobe Bryant.
What's that?
Immature.
Kobe was when he came up. Hell, he was 18 years old when he was drafted by Charlotte.
That's not when Shaq left?
No. I understand that. But they were both. Look, show me the 19, 20, 21-year-old kid who's that mature. Maybe it's Victor Wembanyama. I don't know. But there's not a lot
By
of
2005, that shouldn't have been an issue.
I agree with you. It shouldn't have been.
Because wasn't that when Shaq left? Because it was 06, the one with the Heat.
Yeah, I don't. Yours blend for me. Are you saying the Shaq Kobe split was all Kobe's fault, or what?
I'm not saying that, but it's when anything we were just talking today about people don't want to play with LeBron James.
Right.
Who wouldn't want to play with a star player? Like, well, what happens? It's egos. It's the best of the best are going to grind each other's gears.
And in retrospect, Shaq's going, man, we should have stayed together and made it work. And that leads you to the Warriors. Draymond Green says he did not attempt to convince Klay Thompson to stay with the Warriors. Four championships together. Klay was on 5 All-Star teams. The Splash Brothers. So Draymond has always voiced his opinion, but he says as Klay was making his decision to go play for the Mavericks, Draymond says he didn't try to interfere with it. Quote, this was on his own podcast, Draymond Green's, last night. I was headed to my daughter's recital, so I wasn't able to go as in-depth to the conversation as maybe I would have. When Klay told me, I was just able to listen, and it wasn't like, yo, we should finish this, or you should rethink this. It was just like, wow. Yeah, all right, like, congrats, bro. I'm happy for you, end quote. All right. What did you want him to say? No stay? Begging him to stay? He said, quote, further, I didn't even attempt to want to talk him out of leaving. To see him struggle the way he did last year, I'd hope the care that you would have for that person would go far beyond what you may feel is best for you or what you want to see. End quote. I can respect that. I can respect where Draymond's coming from. If that's really how he feels. Now, look, Draymond may feel, man, Klay's done. He needed to go. He might feel that. He's not saying that. Or what he said may be the way he feels, which is, man, I really care about that dude. And I watched him and what he went through last year. It's best for him to go somewhere and be in a better situation. I mean, are you down with that?
Yeah, I think kind of just what we were talking about with relationships. And Draymond Green feels like that teammate that could grind on you at times. But when you get to the end of the evening and you're looking back on what you've accomplished, what you've been through, that there's plenty of mutual respect, especially between those three.
Yeah, the whole thing, man. Look, when things like this end, they're never easy. I mean, go back to pull it like Brady leaving New England. You go back and listen. There was drama there. When someone's made a career and been a integral part of multi championships, and then you hit a point where the reality is, the franchise is making a business decision. I watched the and this isn't of this ilk, because Saquon Barkley didn't win anything with the New York Giants. But I told you I watched that Hard Knocks last night. And HBO's running on off-season Hard Knocks with the New York Giants. And watching them talk about getting rid of Saquon and going through not offering him a big deal and coming to the realization that their parting ways is a business decision with Saquon Barkley. And look, Saquon's not near the end. But I watched how painful that was, how hard that was, how conflicted the people in that room were. This was just last night. How about when a guy's been with you for 13 years and poured his guts and sweat into it, this whole thing, and won championships? And you're keeping the other two guys of that core around, but not this one. I don't think Golden State. Who's more likely to win another championship? Steph and Draymond or Clay? I mean, you would tell me none of them are going to win one, probably. But if I said
Clay,
probably, right?
I think Luka, Kyrie, Klay Thompson can best Steph, Draymond, and
so when it's all
Wiggins?
said and done, Clay may be in a better position professionally. I know he's hurt that they didn't want to. They want to retire his number, and he'll go back at some point, and they'll put 11 up in the rafters, and he will retire, and they may even sign him for a day, and he'll retire as a Warrior, whatever. It doesn't matter if he does or not. But if he can go out and get a ring, I wonder. I'm not going to tell you that one's going to be any sweeter than the others, but it will be pretty damn sweet, won't it?
yes, it would.
See, man. Look, these are always uncomfortable, but we'll sit here mid next season, and there'll be Klay Thompson, and he'll be in that uniform. Maybe we'll watch LeBron be a Heat and a Cav and a Laker, and it moves. Hell, I watched Karl Malone and Gary Payton in a Laker uniform. Remember that?
Ring chasers.
Remember that? That was the team that was going to win it all. They were just 4 years too late. Gary Payton and Karl Malone went to the Lakers to go get a ring. How did that team not win? Well, it was just too late. But it's kind of crazy. All right, 505-246-0610. So this one on the text line. So Bron takes a max deal. Lakers now have little money to make a splash in free agency or get Bron and AD any help. Lakers missing the playoffs again or first round exit? Question. I think they make the playoffs. I think the Lakers are like Phoenix, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, right in that area. I don't think they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the West right now? In whatever order. Is it Minnesota, Dallas, Denver,
Yes.
Oklahoma City?
I would say OKC. Oh, that's the top four. Those are the top four teams.
Okay, in whatever order, right? And Denver's still in it. And then, I mean, you haven't even gotten into then the Lakers and the Warriors, and I mean, I think the Jazz are. Phoenix, New Orleans, Memphis. They're still in the West. It's hard to think of them in the West. The Rockets going to make a move? The Spurs going to make a move?
So tell me, once, Paul George goes down, Klay Thompson goes somewhere else. Just that sentiment, just from that last email or text you read.
Which
Bron takes the deal and they can't get anyone.
Yeah.
Who can't they sign right now?
As
Gary
of right
Trent
now?
Jr.?
As of right now?
Like Malik Beasley? Like, Bron taking that contract doesn't take away from what's left on the market. They could be in the Buddy Hield conversation if they wanted to be, because that is a sign and trade.
What's Buddy Hield gonna demand? Would it put him over that second apron? I don't know. Because he is a sign and trade, right?
Yeah, that's how we're getting back to the good old sign and trade.
LeBron said earlier this week from reports that he would have taken less than the max to help sign Paul George or Klay Thompson, right? But it's not going to be for, who'd you say, Trent who? Gary Trent Jr.? Right?
They're not, the LeBron deal right now is not taking them out of meaningful acquisitions of what's left out there.
Look, I don't even know how it's done. I swear to God, it's hocus pocus. I don't know how Boston's paying one dude $314 million, another guy $126 million, another guy $215 million. I mean, evidently you can do it.
Well, Boston,
yeah,
like I said when I wrote that headline the other day, the bill will come due because that 314 doesn't kick in until next year for Tatum.
Okay.
So they're working with what this year's numbers are.
At some point. But they won a championship, and that's what matters. All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap it up for you. 505-246-0610. You can still get in. Everything you got to know as you go through your 3rd of July. We'll take tomorrow off. But still time for you to get here. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This is Andrew. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations.
The Lakers said Bronny earned this opportunity. This wasn't given to him. Utah State has informed their football coach, Blake Anderson, former Lobo assistant, that they are going to fire him for violations of protocol, violating the terms of his employment, Title IX, in relation to reporting of his sexual abuse allegation. Nate Dreiling, the former New Mexico State defensive coordinator, is the interim head coach there. I think that's it. Oh, and Greg Berhalter is still on the hot seat. Boy, people coming at him harder and harder. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
So I'm going to be contemplating Wimbledon, the height of tennis in the world, and acknowledging the outstanding and incredible athletic prowess of one Novak Djokovic, who just 29 days ago had surgery on a meniscus tear, and yesterday won a first-round match in straight sets. Not only is he the greatest tennis player of all time, but his recuperative abilities are absolutely incredible. I mean, almost unfathomable. Within, like a month, the guy has invasive knee surgery, and he wins in straight sets 29 days later at Wimbledon. So I just wanted to recognize his greatness all around.
As you should. Coco Gauff was a winner today at Wimbledon, and the defending champion on the ladies' side, Marketa Vondrousova, was beaten in the first round and became one of the few defending champions to ever lose in the first round.
Yeah, right. I think she's the first Wimbledon champion the year before to win and lose in the first round the year after. But, I just don't think we sports fans recognize the heights of athletic prowess that takes place on the tennis court. And, I'm a big tennis guy, taking up pickleball now in my later years. But, we're watching Djokovic, the greatest of all time, like you watched Brady, like you watched Muhammad Ali, Willie Mays. And I just think he should be recognized. And in my view, so should tennis, just for its athletic, capacities and prowess.
Right on. Appreciate you. Yeah. And
you guys have a great 4th of July.
You too. The tennis is good, man. I enjoy it too. I know it's not everybody's thing, not as golf, not as soccer, not as wrestling, whatever. But go enjoy your thing. When do I get knockout rounds of Copa? Does it start over the weekend or when?
It's coming up next.
All right. Anybody going to watch now that the U.S. Americans are out?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do we like?
It's still got Uruguay, players they have, Argentina. It'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. You still can get in. All right. What's the big 4th of July plans? You big local, you your own fireworks guy? Do you go watch the big shows? What do you do? Well, you got a cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac life is amazing.
Yeah,
Love
especially
it.
on the 4th.
Love it.
Yeah.
But do small family get together, some fountains and
fountains. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What do you mean the firework fountains. Yeah. The box of them. Got some running around here. It's like our sales guys were taking my clients. Hey, here's fireworks. Go blow stuff up. Like, all right, cool. Whatever you guys do, be careful. You got a big fireworks show tonight out at New Mexico United. People will be talking about that as well. They should have a good crowd out there on a Wednesday night. They get a big break because normally the Wednesday crowds aren't great, but Wednesday leading into the 4th of July with the fireworks, they should have just a fabulous crowd out there tonight. A first place club playing Orange County Soccer Club tonight, Orange County SC. 7 o'clock start out at the ball pitch, and you can get out there and have a good time. I think they've just been playing terrific. Other headlines this morning: Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese headlined the WNBA's All-Star team, and you mentioned this earlier. This is a 12-player team that will face the U.S. women's national team. You like that format as far as what they're doing with the All-Stars? I guess if you're on the national team, then you can't be an All-Star, right?
Well, you're an All-Star, but
So you're automatically an all-star if you're on the national team? I mean, that's fine,
No,
too.
you're not.
Well,
But you just play for
So
it.
how do you get bonus if
Because you're just like you get bonus if you go to the Pro Bowl and you don't show up.
Okay. I guess I get it. All right. So if you're on the national team, you're considered an all-star, but you're not, right?
No, I'm confused. I thought you were asking the other way around.
Yeah. So if you're on the national team, you can't be an all-star, right?
No. You can be selected to the All-Star team, but you're on Team USA, so you'll play for Team USA versus the All-Stars.
Yeah. All right. I guess I kind of get it. When is this? Because I'm interested. I'll watch that. Everybody's going to want to see the Olympic team. It'll be
especially they'll be like, "Oh, Caden Clark should be there."
Yeah. July
Be on Team
20th.
USA.
July 20th in Phoenix is when they do this. So what's today? 2, 3? So in about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. July 20th is when you get that. Last night, 20,000 plus went and saw Caitlin Clark play in Vegas. The Aces moved out of Mandalay Bay, the Michelob Ultra Arena for the night. They moved into the T-Mobile Arena, the big one where they do all their, really big stuff. And they got over 20,000 people, which was huge. And that's what she's doing, man. They're just making money, and they're doing the right thing. Omar says on Jerry Jones and Coach Jones we trust. Jeff, it doesn't matter what the pieces are. As long as we still have this guy, nothing's going to change. My expectation for the NFL's most outstanding organization will be the finals every season. I mean, cool. All right, who's left in free agency then? So are we pretty much done? Like Oklahoma City did pretty well in free agency. They got Isaiah Hartenstein. They added Alex Caruso in a trade. Sixers did pretty well. They get Paul George. Lakers and Warriors feel like they've done nothing. The Nuggets feel like they've done nothing. Who else is left that we're watching by the time we sit here on Monday?
Buddy Hield.
Okay.
DeMar DeRozan. Like Gary Trent Jr., Tyus Jones, Miles Bridges, Blake Beasley.
So pieces. Pieces. Nothing that's going to put anybody over the top. So now you kind of have an idea. Clippers have done nothing. Nuggets have done nothing. I mean, Nuggets lost parts of their championship team. Warriors.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
That's a part, right? Yeah. I mean, that's a part.
You need to do something, but still, if you're running out Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon.
Yeah. Well, you're still really good. Minnesota's not really done anything, but they're like, okay, we're good. We like what we are. Oklahoma City, though, was the number 1 seed. And they're like, I want to go get better.
And that's
Dallas went to the final, said, I want to get better.
Yeah, and that's where you can use your benefits. Because you look at the Mavericks, they have Luka and Kyrie on quote unquote superstar deals. I give them some flexibility. Then you look at OKC, the only one getting banked right now is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Chet Holmgren's rookie contract, Jalen Williams rookie contract.
Yeah, at some point they're going to have to start paying people, right?
Yeah, so that's why you can go give Hartenstein a little extra money to entice him to come right now.
Yeah. And at some point, like you said, with the Celtics, and the check's going to come due. At some point, when you got guys like Holmgren on rookie contracts, and I mean that you got one dude making that gigantic money. Holmgren gets paid though next, right? He's the next guy on that team.
Yeah, he'll get his extension.
4 years, $200 million.
Will get his, and then you'll be like, okay,
man, now what?
Now we got to navigate the second apron waters.
Second apron. Yeah. What was the other thing that was said today?
Take all your butts and go sit on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, butt this, butt. Butt. You can take all your butts and go sit on. Yeah. All right. All right. So what do you get tonight? You get a little baseball. You get some soccer tonight out at the ball pitch. You get the Rockies win last night. They end up winning that game. I was in and out of that game last night. I know the Isotopes were winners last night. And you'll get the Isotopes here on the Sports Animal to play the Chihuahuas. You get Arizona and the Dodgers. Baltimore, Seattle's a good series. Milwaukee's up in Colorado. So you get all kinds of good stuff. And then enjoy the 4th. Should be great weather. Go out and get a tea time. Do whatever you do. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4 o'clock. Then you get Isotopes and the Chihuahuas. We are out tomorrow for the 4th. Back on Friday at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio then. Adrian, enjoy the 4th. Great work. JJ, big 4-day weekend coming up.
Huge weekend.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we will smell you on Friday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight